I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night. And now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. Now I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic, magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic, magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, woo. Can you imagine, woo? And I feel the magic, woo. Can you imagine, woo? And I feel the magic. It's all around us. And I feel the magic. It's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. 'Cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the magic, magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic, magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic.
Oh my gosh. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. As you can see, I'm not at home and I'm having some interesting issues. Given that I set up nice and early, made sure everything was set up, and then this is what happens. Don't we love technology? Yes, we love technology when it works. Let me just see if you're all still here, or did you go? My gosh, I tried to go across to my phone. Yes, thanks, Karen. Yes, right. Hi, Tanya. And Tanya, I was actually answering your message to say, well done. I'm coming in early, and now this lighting's just awful. Well done on coming in early. Let me see if I can fix this. It's horrible. I don't know which one to turn off. Yes, Tanya, I was saying thanks for coming in early and good on you. And then the screen froze and then everything went to pot. Yeah, Michelle, I'm here now. So How are you all? I hope you've had a good start to your week. As you can see, yes, I'm not home and it's very late for me, and I really appreciate, as I always do, appreciate my people on the East Coast for coming in at the time that you do, because I'm on your time now. I'm on that silly, stupid daylight savings. So my body clock's all out of whack. Anyway, it's been really lovely over here. And of course, is today Monday? Yes. It's been a public holiday here, whereas it was public holiday. I'm not typing now, Jackie. I hope now that that's just a real lag. Otherwise, the spirit that I had in the room last night is still here having a ball on the keyboard. I can only hope that that is a delayed response, Jackie. Let me see if I can just change this lighting. Oh, that's a little bit better. A little bit. Still in my eyes. Oh, wow. Did you really, Karen? Gee, go you. That's awesome. Gee, this reception's shocking. So, without further ado, there will be some changes to Soul and Beyond. I was going to say StreamYard, but to Soul and Beyond, because it has now been taken up by a wonderful, I don't know if organisation is the right term, but to be one of their shows. And I did make that announcement in an email newsletter, and it means that we'll be changing to 45-minute shows, and will also be on a Tuesday. Now, you will get notice of that, okay? I'm just letting you know ahead of time that that's a traveller in more ways than one, Jackie. Letting you know that that's what is coming. So it's quite exciting. It was very exciting to be selected, chosen, invited, whatever you want to call it, to be part of that. Now, something that that I want to share with you tonight. Thanks, Tanya. On the plane on the way over here, something that I do all the time when I'm flying is I find that it's when I'm not flying on my broom or on my wings, I find it's a great time for me to connect and get a lot of insights, and usually a very different level of insight, probably because I'm closer, right, when you're flying. So sitting on the plane coming over here, I was reading some journaling that I'd been doing on a previous trip around the head injury incident. So this journaling is, well, a year old, nearly a year old. And I was going over the notes that are in this book to see what I'd been writing about. And I read the words on the previous page once again. And on this flight, I asked and said, open me to the knowing, show me, tell me more. And what I was talking about was tell me more on what I had written about that incident. The reply was very quick, as it always is. And they stated that the emotions, the pain in the brain alarms you. And I said, well, I want to know more. And then I asked about come to remember, because I have no memory of what took place that day. And funnily enough, my granddaughter was wanting to look at the photos of when you didn't look like you, Gran. Now, she's only 6, and they're not very nice photos. And she was really taken with the one of the actual damage on my scalp to my head. And I was a little concerned because it's graphic. And she asked me why I can't remember what happened. And she said, "What do you mean you don't know what happened? Was it a big rock?" she says. And I said, "No, darling, I don't remember." And she said, "I don't understand." What a fabulous answer from her. And I said, "No, neither do I." So what I wrote on the plane was about come to remember. And the answer was no, it's not about come to remember. There is more to this lived experience. It is the only way for the soul to experience life in physical form. The remembrance is not that you have forgotten, for that cannot be. It is to be in the knowing, the wisdom of your eternal self, in that you learn to be the observer of all that is experienced in the physical world. It is not to consume or suffocate you. That is free will at play. You get that? So when you read about on spiritual pages, podcasts, whatever, and they talk about remembering, and it's time to remember who you are, it's time to remember where you're from and things like that, this was the answer to that. That it's not about remembering. The remembrance is not that you have forgotten, for that cannot be. It is to be in the knowing, the wisdom of your eternal self. It is to be in that wisdom. That you learn to be the observer of all that is experienced in the physical world. The physical world is not to consume you or suffocate you. That is your free will at play. So it was pretty cool, hey? Pretty awesome. And I went on and I said to them, there was an excitement, a rush of energy. I wanted to share the amazing insight and awareness that I had been shown and heard. And today, I'm not in agreement that it was suffocated by a want to understand through logic. And I said, I open to receive the clarity, the intense energy of the insight. And this was the answer. You stepped into that power you are afraid of. Excuse me? A realm beyond this one that you know very well. But because of an experience you had some 30 years ago, you now step aside of that power for fear of reprisal. So some of you may know the story of what happened about 30 years ago. And I was sitting with, I was at a business lunch, and I was sitting with a client and a fellow colleague. And I had had an altercation with my general manager, and I was furious. That is the word that I will explain it as. I was furious with him. And when I sat down at the table, the girls said, "Oh, it doesn't look like you've had a very good morning, Gwenda." And I said, "You could say that." And I picked up my knife and fork with an intention. The next I know is this voice, this power that came out of the client, and her physical self looked at me, and this voice, this amazing voice said, "You know you cannot use your powers in that way in this world." I placed my knife and fork down, and I took a breath. And I went, So since that day, I have stayed out of being able to get into that realm as easily as I used to step into it. Now that led me to ask a question to the members of the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L. And the question was, when you go to, the question was something like this: if you're going to become a ballerina, you must focus, you must practice every day, train, if you want to use that word. If you're going to become a very renowned artist, musician, engineer, theatre specialist, surgeon, you have to study and practice, and you have to commit and dedicate yourself to that study and practice. So why is it that people are prepared to do that? So if they want to become a tremendous athlete, they will commit to train every day. They will do whatever it takes to achieve that level of athletic fitness or champion runner, whatever it is. They will do anything to get there. No matter how much training, no matter how much effort they have to put in, they will do it. And if someone wants to become an exceptional piano player, an exceptional ballerina, they will put in every effort to do it. Then why doesn't that happen when people want to heal? Why doesn't that happen when people want to live a more peaceful, abundant life? And it's interesting that in sitting with that myself today, I was drawn to those notes and reminded how I stepped away from the realm that I am from and that I know very well the power that resides there. So the question is to you, have you made a decision to learn to do something or to create, like in sport, in arts, music, your career, chosen to become a particular level in a career, maybe even gone on to higher education? Have you applied any of that or had a dream of doing any of that in your life? And if you have, what did you need to do to accomplish it? What are the things that you would have to do to accomplish reaching a higher education, becoming an artist, a musician, an engineer, a teacher, but of a higher level? What would you have to do? So have you had a dream of achieving something, or have you actually stepped forward and made it become your reality? If you did, what did you need to do to bring it into your reality? I'll wait for you to answer. I'll wait for you to put in some comments before we go forward. So, unlike Jackie, I can't hear you typing, but I'll wait for you to share. Persevere. What did you have to persevere with, Michelle? That's a good word, by the way. I like it. Work hard. Work hard doing what, Michelle? Tanya, listening, teachers, research, study, practice in the work I do. So, Tanya, I'm going to put listen, research, study, practice. Twinkle, understand this, having a brain injury, physical disability, and definitely relate to words. Beautiful, fascinating. Did you, Twinkle? And when you trained as a ballerina, what did you need to do? Oh, asking lots of questions. Oh, Tanya, ow. Practice to get my back belt. Woo, Michelle, not taking you on. Well done, Michelle. TAFE course, really need to get out of my own way. Aha. Your soul would be celebrating that, Karen Mack, getting out of your own way, to be very thrilled about that. So, Tanya, listening. So you had to listen. Your research. What do you have to do to listen, to research, to study? Do you just, pick up a book, a podcast, or something once? Do you go and sit in one class and listen for however long that class goes for? Learning from others. Yeah. Okay, learning from others who work with plants and knowledgeable on plant medicine. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking, Tanya. Now we're talking. You have to apply yourself and you have to immerse yourself. It doesn't matter. Alert, focusedness, Jude. Yes, Kim. Self-discipline, now you're onto it. Very attentive, practiced, learn to understand my body. Yes, now we're onto it. So what drove you, each of you, Michelle, perseverance, worked hard, did your practices. Tanya, you're learning from others, so you searched others out, you researched, you studied, practices, you listened. Karen Mack, you were even prepared to get out of your own way. Twinkle used self-discipline, very attentive, practiced, and learned to understand your body. Why? What was your motivation to do those things? Michelle, to persevere. What was your motivation to persevere and to work hard? Karen, what was your motivation to get out of your own way? You've gone on a detour now, Tanya. Come on back to where you were. Ah, nice one, Michelle. Thought it was unachievable, wanted to prove it to myself. Now, I'm just going to say here, I'm a little concerned about touching buttons tonight after what happened in trying to start. Right, and Linda Goldswaite in here too. Hi, Linda. Focus, practice, believe in myself, and take action. And what was the determining factor for all of you? What was your motivation to focus, to practice, to research, to study? And Kim Jane. Years of disciplined practice. Years. You know what Kim Jane's put here? Years of disciplined practice. This is great. So, what was your motivation? What was it that drove you to continue working hard, researching, doing the study, doing the practices? Why? Karen Mack, to show myself I could do it. That's along the same lines as Michelle. Good. Who else were you proving it to, Karen? Michelle, who else were you proving it to? You weren't only proving it to yourselves. Who else? Who are you really proving it to? Tanya, rid my body of taking unnecessary medication. Just love plans. Sounds great. Motivated to create good places for people to live in. That's nice, Kim Jane. The point is, oh, hello, Lisa. Welcome. The point is, interesting. Love of music. Music's very healing, Linda. The thing is that when you want to be aligned, passionate and wanted to perform well, never chose to do ballet, started at 2 years old, had to stop at 12. Yeah, I bet. Hard on the body, isn't it, Twinkle? The thing is, some lots of external things here. When each of you have a look at what motivated you to do the research, do the practices, do the study, be dedicated, persevere in Michelle's word, using Michelle's word. For two of you, it was to prove something to yourself, you say. That would be part of it. You definitely wanted the approval of yourself, and that will have been driven by something else in your life. That will have been driven by something that's come through your childhood, could even be a past life. And it's all around feeling loved, heard, accepted, fitting in. So these things are all external, and they are the experience of this lived human life, right? The question is, when it comes to healing for yourself, when it comes to hearing the guidance from your higher self, being in full alignment with your intuition, being able to use your own magic through wisdom, where is the motivation? Where is the determination, the perseverance? Michelle, you have persevered. The thing is, when you can answer that, you come to a whole new level of knowing of yourself and knowing where you sit in your life with yourself and with others. And that is a most profound aha moment. And it will shift things in your life exponentially. There you go, Michelle, to be acknowledged. And Twinkle, I was praised. Here we now you're all, yep, Michelle and Twinkle, well done. Well done. This is what it's about. Recognition. Twinkle's used the word recognition. And Karen, she wanted to make a point. She wanted to make a point how the system is flawed. And saying that she now feels more empowered from it now is also implying that she had lost her sense of self-empoweredness, feeling that incredible powerfulness of being self and being connected. Jackie, you have jumped forward to the next stage, but I'm going to put your comment there because Jackie has quite a story, and where she's come from to where she is now, of what she's expressed here, is a complete turnaround to where she was and where she's been in her life. The thing is that when you really drill it down and you have a look at what your motivation was as to why you were prepared to do the work, do the research, put the practice in, achieve the levels, pass in grades, get that certificate, get that acknowledgement, when you really drill down into what that's about, there you'll find what it is that you've been looking for from others. It also happens to be what you're looking for in yourself. When you are looking externally, so Tanya's comment, she wants to share her knowledge with others so they can feel the wonders of nature and growing their own food. This is an external want. When we really understand what that want is about, they're never wasted, Kim Jane. Your efforts are never wasted. It's more a case of what I'm sharing with you here tonight for you to understand, to really be able to get clarity on your motivations. All of you, I'm not just talking to Kim Jane. The purpose of the conversation tonight is for you to have greater clarity on your motivation for why you choose to put your efforts into achieving certain studies, achieving certain things, career, relationship, whatever it is. Because they are externally motivated. But the question is, if you were diagnosed with something that the medical system said they've got to do all this treatment for you, but they don't know that it's going to work, you would more than likely put your trust, put your beliefs, and put your motivation in their hands. If your husband, your partner turned around and said, I'm leaving you, you would want to know why. I've been a good wife, husband, partner. I do everything for you. I love you. Why are you leaving me? You want to know what their reason is. Right? So everything that you're looking at in achieving, you're looking at in having in your life has an external motivation instead of an internal wisdom, instead of coming from that place of knowing. So if I read the guidance again that I received, There is more to this lived experience. It is the only way for the soul to experience life in physical form. The remembrance is not that you have forgotten, for that cannot be. It is to be in the knowing wisdom of your eternal self, in that you learn to be the observer of all that is experienced in the physical world. And how do you do that? By practice, by being dedicated, by commitment. What do you have to do to achieve being a ballerina, a herbal medicine person, a teacher? You have to commit. You have to dedicate yourself. What do you have to do if you're going to be an accountant? You have to dedicate yourself. You have to study. And yet, when it comes to knowing the wisdom of yourself, the truth of yourself, people aren't willing to put that dedication, that commitment. Why? Oh, because there's no money in it. Oh, because it's not going to pay the bills. Both wrong. This actually goes the other way around. The more that you're in the knowing, the more you manifest, the more you find energy flows, which includes abundance. I'm going to go to Kim Jane's comment. She says to me, you say it's about love, accepted, fitting in. No more to that, as presently feeling sad, efforts so far feel wasted. And that goes directly to your own sense of self-worth, self-love, self-compassion, self-nurture. Everything comes back around to ourselves. Everything. Whatever we're seeing out there that isn't enough, or we've got to strive to fit in, strive to be accepted, is an indication that we need to actually put some commitment and dedication into accepting ourselves and fitting in to ourselves. Being able to be comfortable in being self. What's Karen got here? My cholesterol is high. Woo! 9.3. Got given a script for... Oh dear. Karen, reading your comment, got given a script for Satan. That's what jumped out. It's a statin. And referral to a specialist. No thanks. Doctors suck. I came home and ordered the liver gallbladder flush book and looking at changes in my life. Very good. Very good choice, Karen. Well done. Well done. Well, nice work, Tanya. We're making some very good decisions. We're making some very good new determined efforts, but you better know what your motivation is, because the burning question is, why is the motivation not there when it comes to self-healing, self-love, and being soul-aligned? If we put as much effort as we do into these other things, if we put that much effort into knowing our true selves and where we're from and our life purpose, oh my gosh, what an incredible change we would have in our life. Yeah, well, that's right, Kim Jane. It's not about the achieving. It's not about the achieving. When we're trying to achieve, we need to understand what is motivating that. And we can only do that by being very honest with ourselves and asking, what's it going to mean to me to achieve this? But then what's it going to mean to someone else? How are they going to see me when I achieve this? Can you imagine putting, say, 7 years of determined commitment to studying something every day for 7 years. And you get ducks. You get ducks of the class. You get an award for most outstanding, exceptional, huge grades. And then you come home to your spouse or your mum and dad or your kids, your best friend, whoever is, up there in your hierarchy in your life. And they're watching TV and you come in and you're like, wow, look what I got. I got ducks. I got the highest. I got the best. I got this award. And they're like, oh, yeah, hi. Where are you now? What's that piece of paper mean to you now? 7 years of dedication, striving, determined, perseverance. 7 years. And they're like, oh, yeah. Put yourself in those shoes. You've all done it, just not for 7 years. You've all done something that you're really thrilled about. And when you've shared it with people who matter to you and they're like, oh, good job. Yeah, good job. That's good. And where do you feel that? Where do you feel that in yourself? How long does it take you to get over it? Thank you, Michelle. And yes, Tanya. That's exactly right. No, Kim Jane doesn't apply. I'm sorry, that's not relevant. That's not in line with the lessons, the insights. Shouldn't rely on anybody's. Some very key words there, Tanya. Rely on others' recognition. So the really important thing here is for you to have a look at what motivates you in the things that you have previously achieved and what it is that you're wanting to achieve presently. And then to ask yourself, where is my level of commitment to being in full alignment with my wisdom of my higher self, my eternal self? Where is my dedication to that? You could put it on a scale of 1 to 10 and then be able to say to yourself, is that as good as it gets? And you know what? There is no good as it gets as far as your soul is concerned. As good as it gets belongs in the physical reality. And so you can put whatever level on that you choose to put on it. And that will be from here, the conscious mind. It won't be from your heart. It won't be from your soul. If you can say words like, it's as good as it can get, and feel an incredible surge of joy, of love coming through every part of your being, now we're talking to the soul. Now we're in alignment with the soul. That's the difference. Nice one, Tanya. When you look at your dedication of what you're doing and you bring into that other people, and you've got words like recognition, success, fitting in, or anything, then you need to go back to the drawing board, right? And the crux of it is, why don't we put as much dedication and commitment into the practices to be able to self-heal, to be able to be soul-fueled in our life as we do with have to have a cup of coffee today? have to look at Facebook today, have to do anything, whatever it is, have to, X, Y, Z. How is it that if we decide we're going to run a marathon, or we're going to do a spiritual 30-day challenge, we will put that effort in, but when it's finished, it's finished. Yay, woo, go me, I did it, woo. And after that, where are we? Nowhere. We just achieved something again. But what was the motivation? What were you really looking for? Have to have, that's right, Tanya, using numbers. We can do anything with numbers. So understanding your motivation, because I choose to, not because I have to. Nice one, Tanya. Your motivation, your dedication, your commitment. And that will be for all habits. So what are your habits? Why? Why do you have such dedication to those habits compared to putting time, commitment, dedication into practices that make you your own healer, that bring you to be able to live life on your terms and be very powerful in your own life? Why isn't it the same? Why isn't that commitment and dedication the same as, oh, I can't function in the morning till I've had a coffee, or I have to do this marathon, or I have to do whatever it is? Do you see? Now, I'm not saying that when there is a promotion at work, you don't go for it. I'm not saying that at all. When there is an opportunity where you could sell your property and buy your dream property, I'm not saying you don't do that. That's not where I'm coming from at all. I'm asking you to think about your dedication, your commitment, your perseverance, the effort you put in to things, achievements, accomplishments that have nothing to do with your soul. And why is that same level of commitment, focus, dedication not there when it comes to becoming your own healer and being able to be finely tuned to your guidance, your inner guidance, your higher self, your guides? There's a bit of homework there for you to do. So we got there in the end. Thank you for hanging in there with me tonight and being with me. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to say again, Tanya, I do apologise, and everyone else that were looking for me last week, I think, was when we had the public holiday in WA. I do sincerely apologise that we didn't get the post out to say there's no Soul and Beyond this week. So I really want you to think about tonight's discussion and what's being asked of you, and see what you come up with, and see what wonderful new enlightenment you can bring to yourself. I love that. Love that, Twinkle. That is awesome. And I'm a huge lover of dancing and music, so I really relate with that one. That's fantastic. So lots for you to think about there tonight. And we just might check in with you next week and see where you come in, what you found. You can always have a chat on some of the Facebook posts. Were you, Tanya, jealous? You're the... Or was it the week before? Can't remember. But anyway, it was an apology. I think you're the fourth person, Tanya, that is just teasing me about Fiji. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Very welcome. Glad you enjoyed it. And Tanya, glad you enjoyed it very much. See, they always know. I don't have to use my brain. In fact, it nearly got knocked out anyway, so obviously I don't need it at all. So God bless everyone. God bless. Have a fabulous. Oh, thank you, Karen. It's nearly over, almost over. I'll be home next week and back to normal. So thank you, everyone, once again, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Have a blessed rest of your week. Much love, and enjoy the discoveries of yourself.